Proceed, Bensouda.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, I rise to make my contribution in the presidential address on the state of the nation. I analyzed the presentation and I want to say and register that it was precise for the first time with a clear introduction, the body and conclusion, and submission was done before this House. That I accept. I want to register in this House, Mr. Speaker, saying planning and implementation are different things. I want to acknowledge that the President is on the path of listening, which is critical of a leader. I'm contributing or making my contribution and acknowledgement that he recognized and said that he'll work with speed to ensure that during his tenure, 2/3 gender rule is implemented. I want to rise categorically and say that number one, the 2/3 gender rule as women reps, this point I'm contributing on behalf of the 47 women representatives of this nation. We have a hard-working PS and we acknowledge the work that she's doing. In the event of reshuffling, because the President has chosen the path of listening, let Madam PS Ann remain there. But I'm disappointed that it is the only ministry without the CS. I know the President is listening, and soon a woman CS nominee. That is the only ministry being run by a PS and a CS. We need action on that. Still on 2/3 gender rule, taking care of the interests of the women. In the financial cycle, Mr. President has chosen the path of listening. He promised the 47 women reps an additional of 1 billion. 1 billion had been given, and he promised the sanitary towels, which we received 940 in last financial year. This year, Mr. President, listen to the women representatives. We are told they are pending bills, and the sanitary parts have not been given a clear framework. We know and we appreciate Mr. President listened and removed the sanitary towels from the Ministry of Education to Ministry of Gender. The students will be soon opening schools. We want to receive our sanitary towels. So I know on 2/3 gender rule, taking care of the women's interest, Mr. President has listened to me. On the issue of gender-based violence, Mr. President said that he's very keen and appreciated the caucus that went and visited State House. I happen not to have been amongst them, but I know that they went there categorically to voice out the voice of the women. And on that day over the news, I saw the President said and pledged that he's giving 100 million. This 100 million, I believe, it is a good start, but not adequate, and neither meant for certain regions, but he should consider ensuring that all 47 women representatives and the deaths of the gender-based violence, whether they are bestowed at the police stations at the headquarters, we want clear engagement on this. We are calling upon Mr. President that this must happen. On his speech, I also established that the President is keen of SMEs. I want to say that on SMEs, digitalization is a key component of developing and advancing our nation. But Mr. President, we would want to say that the digital borrowing of WEF and youth economic empowerment funds is not making meaningful growth. And so let the ordinary method that was being used, and this fund, I know this House can legislate and make it be bestowed under the women representatives, because they are the ones who take the course on affirmative action. Mr. President also acknowledged the issue of education. As a teacher, I cannot fail to acknowledge his concerns. I highly acknowledge his concern that universities in this country had come to their knees. I don't know what time it's going to take this country to bring them up so that quality of education in this country is not compromised. Twice we have seen the lecturers in the same year go on strike, an embarrassing situation. I want to believe that his concern of ensuring that adequate funding to our universities will occur so that we never see lecturers be on street, and we see the collective bargaining agreements adhered to. I'm also concerned on the competency.
You have half a minute.
Half a minute.
Proceed.
I'm concerned that grade 9, 8, and 7 are bestowed at the primary level. But you find that the Form 1 classrooms are going to be into waste. A concern that the Ministry of Education should check into, since policy agreements are there, which is stated. Categorically meaningful engagement. There is a monster at the Teacher Service Commission. The CEO at the Teachers Suffering Center, if I may call it. Never in the office, never listen to people. So I wonder when she's going to have meaningful engagement. And the teachers are suffering. Lack of proportion. We want Nancy Macharia categorically to stop leaving the PA to handle people when we go there. We want meaningful engagement in all sectors. There are some officers who engage meaningfully with the legislatures. This is for purposes of service delivery. There are some officers we have realized the Askari manages you not to access those officers. The president said meaningful engagement. Meaningful engagement with the county government.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice to the presidential speech. And admitted that the country is not where he promised Kenyans it will be, but is also not where we started, which means he has realized some achievements. But Speaker, I want to confirm to the country that the pace of achieving those achievements is very slow, and Kenyans wish that he could improve the pace. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on the issue of national values and principles of governance. Honorable Speaker, I've read through the speech, and I just want to pick a few of them just to explain to us what is happening. Honorable Speaker, the issue of being inclusive as a national value is an issue which needs to be improved. Honorable Speaker, we can never have a country where, in terms of public appointments, we see skewness towards some regions. That cannot be fair for the country. The second item, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of equity. Honorable Speaker, we will continue saying it. The issue of equity in this country is an issue which is wanting, Honorable Speaker. This morning, Honorable Speaker, I was looking at the Kenya Gazette on the issues of administrative units, which have been approved by the Ministry of Interior. Honorable Speaker, you'll be surprised. Some areas which really demand and require these additional units are not getting. And those ones which hardly require them are getting. Honorable Speaker, I do not have a country where some areas are getting favors and others are being left behind. So the issue of equity, Honorable Speaker, automatically requires some improvement. The issue of human rights, Speaker, is a governance issue.